Hello. I know you are still awake. Your eyes might be closed, but your mind is certainly not. I know exactly why you are lying there in the dark right now, trying so desperately to find a quiet place in your own head. But their voice just keeps echoing, loud and demanding. It is so deeply exhausting. Is it not? You close your eyes, and suddenly you are right back in that moment, hearing those exact words that made your chest tighten and your throat close up. Those specific words that made you feel like no matter how hard you try, no matter how much of yourself you give to be the good daughter or the perfect wife, it is simply never enough. You might be feeling a heavy, familiar knot of resentment in your stomach tonight. Or perhaps it is not just anger. Perhaps it is a profound, quiet grief, because the people who were supposed to be your safe harbor are the ones who carelessly handed you this heavy emotional weight. You've been carrying their unhealed wounds all day long. You've been walking around with this invisible load on your shoulders, smiling and pretending everything is fine, while your nervous system remains completely trapped in a state of fight or flight. But here's the most important thing I need you to know tonight. That harsh, critical voice playing on repeat in your mind is not yours, and it is absolutely not the truth about your worth. It is merely a projection of their own shadow, their own unresolved pain that they could not carry. So they blindly placed it onto you. Shh. You do not have to hold it for them for one more second. You have done enough fighting for today. You have done enough explaining, and enough trying to be understood by someone who is committed to misunderstanding you right now in this safe and quiet space. You do not need to defend yourself. You do not need to win that argument in your head. Tonight, through the calming power of clinical sleep hypnosis and the deep wisdom of Carl Jung, we are going to gently untangle your energy from theirs. We are going to completely sever that invisible cord, returning their chaos to them, so you can finally drift into a deep and peaceful sleep. Let us begin by acknowledging the physical toll this day has taken on your body. Your mind has been racing, but your poor, tired body is the one that has truly been carrying the heavy weight of those words. Every single time you replay that harsh conversation in your head, your nervous system reacts as if the threat is happening all over again. Right now, in the safety of this very room. But listen to me. You're safe now. The door is locked. The room is perfectly quiet, and they're not here. They cannot reach you here. It is just you. It is just you. And the steady sound of my voice let us signal to your body that the battle is finally over. I want you to take a slow, intentional, deep breath in through your nose, feeling the cool, deep breath in through your nose, feeling the cool, clean air into your lungs. Hold it for a moment, and now, let it go completely through your mouth. Imagine you are blowing out a candle, releasing a heavy sigh you've been holding in your chest all day long. Notice your shoulders. Have you noticed how they have been creeping up towards your ears, like a silent armor you wore to protect your heart from their sharp words and unfair judgments? You do not need that armor here. Shh. Let it fall away. Drop your shoulders down, feel them sink, and let the mattress completely support your weight. Now, bring your gentle attention to your jaw. You have been clenching your teeth, bracing yourself for the next criticism, the next emotional attack. Unclench your jaw right now. Let your lips part just slightly. Allow your tongue to fall naturally away from the roof of your mouth. Notice the immediate, beautiful relief as the tiny muscles in your face begin to soften and melt. Move your awareness down into your chest and your stomach. This is where we hold the deep, painful knots of resentment and the sting of being made to feel like you are not enough. It feels tight, perhaps a little cold, does it not? Breathe directly into that space. Send a warm, soothing wave of oxygen into that heavy knot. With every exhale, imagine that tight knot beginning to loosen and unraveling thread by thread. Trang, string by string, your vagus nerve. That incredible pathway that tells your brain it is time to rest is waking up now. It is sending a gentle, rolling wave of calm down your spine, flowing through your arms and all the way down to your fingertips, your hands, which may have balled into fists of frustration and hurt, are now resting open, relaxed and warm. You might feel a slight tingling, or a comforting sense of heaviness washing over your limbs. That is simply your nervous system finally standing down from its high alert. The arguments are over. The words have stopped echoing, and you are surrounded by a cocoon of absolute safety. Just let go. Just let bed absorb all the tension, all the leftover anger, all the profound sadness of not being truly seen. Let it all drain away, leaving you feeling lighter and lighter and lighter with every single breath. You are doing so well. Shh. They just drift as your body finally accepts that the day is done, that you are safe. To feel it, that heavy, physical pressure sitting right on your chest. Even now, as you try so hard to relax, it is the weight of expectations that were never yours to meet. For years, perhaps for your entire life, you have been cast in a role that you never auditioned for. Tu steep Blusum, the role of the silent peacemaker. The emotional sponge who absorbs everyone else's anger. The one who's expected to fix everything while her own heart is quietly breaking. In our families, and in the society we live in. And there is this cruel, unspoken rule for women, especially for the daughters and the wives. You are told to be soft, to be accommodating, to be the one who understands, even when you are being treated with absolutely no understanding at all. You spend so much of your precious energy trying to fill a cup that has a massive hole in the bottom, no matter how much of your peace, how much of your time. Or how much of your soul you pour into that cup. The verdict is always the same. It is simply never enough. And because you are a person of deep empathy, you started to turn that judgment inward. You started to believe that the problem was you. You told yourself that maybe if you were just a little more patient, a little more perfect, or a little more silent, then their words wouldn't be so sharp. Their looks wouldn't be so cold. But I am here to tell you tonight, right here in this safe darkness, that the load you're carrying is not your responsibility. It is an invisible burden, a crushing mental load of emotional labor. A crushing mental load of emotional labor that has been unfairly and perhaps even unconsciously placed on your shoulders by people who cannot carry their own pain. Carl Jung once wrote about the profound burden of the unlived life of the parent and how heavily it falls upon the shoulders of the child. You're not just hearing their words tonight. You're carrying their regrets. You're carrying their regrets. Their ancient bitterness, and their own inability to love themselves. It is so deeply exhausting to be the repository for someone else's shadow. It makes you feel invisible, that the real you, the tired, hurting, and authentic you, doesn't even exist to them. They see a role, but I see a human being. I see the Herculable effort you put in every single day just to survive the constant stream of criticism. I see the tears you swallow back so you don't cause a scene, so you don't upset the fragile peace of the house. I see the way you have systematically shrunk your own dreams and your own voice, just to fit into the narrow, suffocating world they created for you. Tonight, we are here to validate every ounce of that pain. This is not just overthinking. This is not just you being sensitive. The exhaustion in your bones is real. The hurt in your heart is real. This invisible load is very, very heavy, and it has been draining your life force for far too long. But listen to my voice. You are finally allowed to put it down. You're officially allowed to stop trying to be enough for people who have committed themselves to never being satisfied. You are already enough. You have always been more than enough. Exactly as you are, without the role, without the perfect performance, and without the mask. Let yourself feel the sheer reality of this burden right now. Just wait, soothe it in the silence that follows. Car, we can finally, together, begin the process of letting it go. Now, let us go even deeper, much deeper into the hidden architecture of your subconscious mind. Carl Jung, the great explorer of the soul, believed that we all wear masks to survive the world. He called these masks our personas. You have a persona for the outside world, a persona for your friends, and a very specific, very exhausted, and very heavy persona that you wear only for your family. This is the mask of the good daughter, the mask of the one who never complains, the mask of the woman who stays perfectly silent even when her soul is being trampled on, even when her heart is screaming for respect. But tonight, in the safety of this healing darkness, I want you to understand a profound, life-changing psychological truth. Those hurtful words they say to you, those sharp, jagged criticisms that cut through your peace like glass, they are not actually directed at you, the authentic, the beautiful you. They are directed at the persona they expect you to play, or even worse. They are a direct, unconscious projection of their own hidden shadows. Take a slow breath and think about it deeply for a moment. In the absolute silence of this room, when they call you selfish, are they not often the ones acting with the most profound, blind selfishness? When they tell you that you are lazy, or that you are never doing enough, is it not because they feel a deep, hollow, and terrifying void of inadequacy inside their own souls? This is the clinical reality of projection. It is a psychological defense mechanism where a person takes the parts of themselves they cannot accept, their own repressed anger, their own deep shame, their own ancient failures. Then they project them onto you like a movie being played onto a blank screen. You have been the screen for their movie for far too long, my dear. You have been forced to hold their darkness, to wear their shame as if it were your own skin, to carry their bitterness as if you were the one who created it. But hear me now. You are not the screen, and you are certainly not the broken character they have written for you in their own distorted, painful script. Beneath that heavy, suffocating, and dusty mask of the good woman, there is a real person, a vibrant, authentic person who is so tired of being misunderstood. A person who is tired of being used as a dumping ground for someone else's emotional waste. Their words are merely the noise of their own internal storm. Nothing more. They do not define your light, and they do not define your inherent, unshakable value. Unshakable value. Imagine for a moment that you are a clear, perfectly still mirror. When they look at you and shout, when they judge you and mock you, they are only seeing their own reflection. They are seeing their own unhealed trauma, their own deep-seated Arions imescarokiness. It is absolutely, 100%, nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. You do not have to accept their projection anymore. You can stop participating in this theater of pain. You can walk off the stage right now. You can take off the mask of the one who is never enough. You can finally, just be yourself. Without apology. Just be yourself. Without apology. Without fear. Shh. It is safe to be seen as you truly are. Even if they never, ever, choose to look at you properly, your worth is a solid, ancient, unshakable mountain, and their words are just a few gusts of cold wind blowing against your side. They cannot move the mountain. They cannot change the radiant reality of your soul. Tonight, together, we are unmasking the truth. We are finally separating your sacred identity from their chaotic projections. You are a separate, whole, and beautiful being. You are not their disappointment, and you are not their scapegoat. You are not the person they say you are. In their moments of rage, you are the silence. You are the peace. You are the peace. You are the observer. You are simply you, and that has always been, and will always be, more than enough. Shh. Let that truth sink into your bones. Let it wash over your tired mind as you prepare to let go of the mask forever. It is time now to leave a noisy, frantic surface of the world behind and descend into the quiet, healing sanctuary of your own subconscious mind, where those harsh, demanding voices can no longer reach you. Tom wants you to visualize a beautiful and ancient stone staircase, curving gently downwards into a safe, dark, warm, and velvet darkness. It's the sacred path to your inner core, the place where your true self waits. Untainted and untouched by the painful projections of others. With every number I count, you will take one slow, deliberate step down. And with every step, your mind will become 10 times more relaxed, 10 times more detached from the heavy labels they placed on you today. 10. Step down. Feel the absolute, grounding weight of your physical body pressing into the bed. Your limbs are becoming so heavy, so still, as if you are merging into the soft mattress itself. The world above is starting to blur. 9, sinking further down. Gravity is your friend now, pulling the deep tension out of your muscles, your legs, your arm. They are becoming leaden, warm. They're becoming leaden, warm. and perfectly motionless. The need to fight, the need to explain yourself. It is simply vanishing into the cool air. 8. Stepping deeper. Feel the echoes of their criticisms. Those jagged, hurtful words finally drifting away from your ears. Like dry, dead leaves being carried off by a silent night wind. They are becoming smaller, quieter, and completely irrelevant to the peace you are creating right now. 7. Moving further into the healing shadows. The darkness here is not something to fear. It is a protective, loving medium. Like a thick glasting, soft silk blanket wrapping tightly around your soul. You are becoming invisible to the judgment here. You are finally, truly safe. 6. Releasing the mask completely. Let the good daughter, the perfect wife, let the good daughter, the perfect wife, let that exhausted persona stand the step above you. You do not have to perform for anyone here. You do not have to prove you are enough for anyone. You are allowed to just exist. 5. We are halfway down now. Notice how the air has changed. It is cooler, cleaner, nor ancient. It is cooler, cleaner, more ancient, more wise. Your breath is a slow, rhythmic, an effortless wave, washing over your consciousness, pulling you down, into a profound, deep state of inner peace. 4. Stepping deeper into the holy stillness. Your heartbeat is finding a slow, steady, and reassuring rhythm. Each beat is a message to your tired nervous system, saying, you are okay, the day is done. You're okay, the day is done. You are truly okay. You're so far away from that argument now. It feels like a dream from another life. 3. Your mind is becoming like a still, dark, and bottomless pool. No ripples, no noise, no racing thoughts, just the incredible, soothing weight of total, absolute relaxation. Absolute relaxation. The light of the world above is gone, and you are perfectly comfortable in this holy, velvet silence. 2. One more step. Nearly there now. The surface is just a fading, distant memory. You are surrounded by a cocoon of absolute, unshakable tranquility. Your worth is a solid, ancient mountain, and you are finally coming home to yourself. 1. You are at the bottom now. You are at the threshold of your own sacred subconscious. The descent is complete. You are heavy. You are calm. You are ready to let go, ready to heal, and then ready to heal, and ready to sleep deeply. Have you ever wondered why? Your brain chooses the quietest hours of the night to scream the loudest. Why it insists on replaying that specific, painful conversation from earlier today, or even from years ago, over and over again, like a broken record that simply refuses to stop. From a clinical perspective, your brain is not actually trying to torture you, even though, right now, it certainly feels that way. It is actually a very primitive, very ancient survival mechanism that has gone slightly wrong in our modern, complex world. Your amygdala, that tiny, almond-shaped part of your brain responsible for your absolute safety, perceives those hurtful words from your family as a direct threat to your very existence. You see, in our ancient, primal past, being rejected, criticized, or cast out by our tribe, by our family, literally meant certain death. So, your nervous system is currently flooded with cortisol, the stress hormone, keeping you in a state of high alert. Because it honestly thinks it needs to protect you from a dangerous predator. Shh. But the predator tonight. Shh. But the predator tonight is just a memory. A ghost, a string of sounds and words. Your mind stays awake, pacing back and forth, because it is desperately trying to find a perfect rebuttal, a way to finally win the argument, a way to make them finally understand your true worth, so that the threat will go away and you can feel safe again. This is what we call an open loop in the brain. The Zeigarnik effect of the soul. Your mind is searching for a resolution. East, a closing of the door. That can never, ever, that can never, two. You're looking for validation from the very source of your pain. And that is why the loop stays open. Total wreck, spinning faster and faster as the night goes on. Every single time you think of a better thing you could have said. Every time you imagine them finally apologizing, your brain gives you a tiny, you're keeping you wired, keeping you frustrated, and keeping you exhausted. But tonight, right here, I want you to give your logical brain a new piece of information, a new command to shut down this inner trial. Winning the argument in your head will never, ever, ever lead to the profound peace you crave. The person who spoke those words is not looking for the truth. As we explored, they were simply projecting their own unhealed shadow. Therefore, there is no logical solution, no perfect sentence, and no magic word to be found by replaying the tape one more time. Your brain is exhausted from trying to solve an impossible puzzle. A puzzle with missing pieces is trying to fix the relationship that you cannot fix alone. Shh. By understanding the biology of this, you can finally, Julie, give yourself permission to stop. You can tell your amygdala, thank you. Thank you for trying so hard to protect me, but I am safe now. The words cannot hurt me here. In the warmth of this bed, the loop can finally close, because you are choosing to stop seeking a full resolution from them, and instead, you are finding it, right now, within your own silence. Let the weight of this clinical truth settle deep into your mind. Like soft silt at the bottom of a lake, you are not weak for overthinking. You are not broken. You are simply human, with a brain that cares very, very deeply about your safety. But tonight, true safety is found in letting go. Safety is found in the stillness that follows the realization that you have nothing more to prove. Let the logical, searching, and fighting part of your mind finally lay down its heavy weapons. It has done enough work. It has fought enough battles for one lifetime. It is time to close the loop, to breathe, and to finally, to breathe, and to finally just drift. Shh. We have explored the biology of your mind, We have mapped the clinical loops of your brain. But now, we must travel even deeper, much deeper, into the most sacred and ancient and hidden part of your psychological heritage. We must speak of the good woman and the dark. Heavy. We must speak of the good woman and the dark. Heavy. And misunderstood shadow she is forced to carry behind her every single day. You were taught from the very beginning, perhaps before you could even speak, that your absolute value was tied to your usefulness, to your silence, to your endless, exhausting ability to keep everyone around you happy, even at the expense of your own soul, even at the expense of your own sanity. You learned very early on that being good meant being invisible. It meant having no needs, no legitimate anger. And certainly, Connor's awake when it came there. This is the archetype you have lived in. A cage made of beautiful cauldron bars, built by the hands of people who are far too afraid to deal with their own emotional complexity and their own unhealed pain. But Carl Jung, the great teacher, taught us that whatever we push into the darkness, whatever we refuse to acknowledge or own in ourselves, it doesn't just disappear into nothingness. It becomes our shadow. And for the good woman, her shadow is full of the very things she was told were bad, shameful, or wrong. It is full of her righteous, powerful anger, her deep, starving hunger for respect, her secret desire to say a firm, loud no, and her desperate aching need to be seen for who she truly is, not just for what she can do for others, or how well she can serve their needs. Tonight, the reason you cannot sleep, the reason those hurtful, jagged words from your family echo so loudly and so painfully in your head, is because they are attacking the very boundary your shadow is finally trying to build. When they say you are selfish for wanting peace, or for needing a moment for yourself, your shadow knows deep down that you are simply trying to survive. But the good woman mask, that ancient, fragile part of you that still wants their approval, feels a crushing, suffocating sense of guilt. You feel like a bad person, a bad daughter, a bad wife, or a bad mother, just for wanting to protect the small, flickering flame of your own heart. This is the split in your soul, the exhausting war between your mask and your shadow. You have been taught to fear your own strength, to see your anger as a sin, to rather than what it truly is, a sacred, rather than what it truly is, a sacred, protective signal that your boundaries have been violated and your value has been ignored. But hear me clearly. Shh, you're in your. It is the fierce guardian of your value. It is the part of you that still loves you enough to be outraged by how you are being treated, even when the rest of you is too tired to fight back. Tonight, right here in the safe. Quiet room. We are going to stop fighting against this part of yourself. We are going to gently bring the shadow into the warm light of consciousness. It is a beautiful and profound irony. Is it not that the very parts of you that call difficult, or selfish, or never enough, are often the most authentic, most vibrant, and most powerful parts of your being? Carl Jung believed that we do not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness, our darkness, our darkness, conscious. So, right now, I want you to invite that repressed version of yourself into this room. The one who wants to scream. The one who is so tired of being the peacemaker. The one who is utterly exhausted by the endless role of the good woman. Look at her. Look at her. Look at her with eyes of absolute, unwavering compassion. She's not bad. She's just deeply wounded. She is the little girl who realized that the only way to get love, or safety, was to be perfect. And she is so incredibly tired. We are going to integrate her tonight. We are going to tell her, perhaps for the first time, that it is okay to be angry. It is okay to be messy. And it is okay to have boundaries that other people simply do not like. Setting a boundary is not an act of war. It is an act of deep self-respect. If someone is offended by your boundaries, it is usually because they are benefiting immensely from your lack of them. Shh. You do not have to be a saint to be worthy of a night's sleep. You do not have to be a martyr to be worthy of love or belonging. You are allowed to be a whole, complex human being, with light and shadow, with peace and anger, with peace and anger, with silence and a powerful voice. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Right now. For the perceived crime of being human. Forgive yourself for not being the perfect, plastic version they created in their own broken minds. That version doesn't exist. It never did. It was a projection. A hollow, flickering ghost. You are real. You are solid. And the real you is allowed to be tired. The real you is allowed to turn her back on their criticism and close her eyes in peace. As you integrate your shadow, notice how the physical weight on your chest begins to shift and transform. It is no longer a crushing, external pressure. It is becoming a solid, inner sense of self. A foundation that their words cannot crack, and their judgments cannot move. You're no longer a good woman trying to earn her right to exist. You are a soul, reclaiming its ancient right to be. Shh. Let the mask of the good woman slide off your face. Let it fall onto the floor. You don't need it here. You don't need it anymore. The shadows are safe now. They are your allies. They are your strength. And they are your peace. You are whole. You are integrated. And you are finally, allowed to be exactly as you are. Breathe into your wholeness. Breathe into your slankness. Breathe into your strength. And let the long war inside you finally come to an end. Shh. Close your eyes even tighter now, and let the world around you dissolve into a distant memory. Let my voice become a steady bridge, leading you into the heart of a small, quiet, and deeply healing story. And deeply healing story. True. Imagine a woman walking alone along a beautiful silver path at twilight. The air is cool, smelling of damp earth and ancient pine. And the trees are tall. Dark and protective, leaning in as if to listen to her heartbeat. But the woman is walking very slowly. Her back is painfully bent, and her breath is short and shallow. She is wearing a heavy, dark, and tattered cloak, and its deep pockets are filled to the brim with stones. Large, jagged, cold, and gray stones. These are not stones she found herself along the path. Oh no, oh no. These are stones that were thrown at her by the people she loves most, the people she was taught to trust. Every time they spoke a harsh, critical word. Every time they looked at her with disappointment or judged her worth, she caught the stone they threw and placed it carefully in her pocket. She thought, in her innocent heart, that it was her sacred duty to carry them. She believed that if she just carried enough of their stones, she bore their weight with enough grace, they would finally be happy. They would finally be satisfied. And they would finally, mercifully, stop throwing them. Stop throwing them. But the pockets are so incredibly heavy now. They are tearing the very fabric of her cloak, and they are bruising her skin, leaving deep, invisible marks on her soul. She reaches a high, stone bridge over a deep, clear, and fast-moving river. Over a deep, clear, and fast-moving river. The sound of the water is a powerful, constant roar. Like the voice of the earth itself, she stops. Comes to mean, feeling the profound ache in her bones, an exhaustion that goes deeper than sleep can ever reach. She reaches into her right pocket, pulls out a sharp, heavy, and jagged gray stone. It has a name written on it. In a voice she knows all too well. The name on the stone says, Selfish. She looks at it closely, and for the first time in her life, she realizes something profound, something life-changing. This stone is cold, and it is heavy, but it does not belong to her. It never did. It was a gift she never asked for, a projection of someone else's inability to give. She moves to the very edge of the bridge, and with a deep, shaking breath, she simply lets it go. She watches as it hits the water, and is instantly swept away by the powerful current, sinking into the dark. She feels a tiny, beautiful, and strange lightness in her right shoulder. She reaches in again and pulls out another stone. This one is even larger, even heavier. It feels like a cold lead weight in her palm. It says, never enough. She remembers the exact night she was given this stone. The hot tears she cried in the dark. The taut tears she cried in the dark, and the desperate, frantic way she tried to change herself, to shrink herself, just to make that stone feel lighter. But now, in this sacred twilight, she finally sees the truth. This stone belongs to the person who gave it to her. It is a heavy piece of their own unhealed, broken heart, and it has no place in her cloak. She lets it fall, and it vanishes without a sound into the deep, swirling blue water, one by one, with a slow, rhythmic grace. She reaches into her pockets, pulling out stones of shame, stones of guilt, and stones of ancient, crushing expectations. Each time she lets a stone go. Each time she lets a stone go, her back becomes a little straighter, her breath becomes a little deeper, and her heart becomes a little lighter. As if it is finally learning how to beat for itself again, she realizes that the river can handle the weight. The ancient earth can absorb the pain. But she, a human being, cannot. She was not made to be a container for the emotional waste of others. She was not made to be a repository for their stones. She was made to be like the river itself, fluid, powerful, clean, and completely free. By the time she reaches the other side of the bridge, her cloak is light, and it flutters in the night wind like a pair of wings. She is no longer the woman who carries the stones of others. She is the woman who walks her own path in the absolute silence and in the absolute peace of her own soul. Shh. Let this story sink deep into your cells tonight. You are that woman, and the bridge is right here, waiting for you. The water is ready to take what was never yours. Let them go. One, by one, by one, by. Undone until you are light enough to fly into your dreams. Now that your cloak is finally light and heavy, jagged stones have been swept away by the river. We must walk a little further, just a few more steps into the soft, silver mist of your subconscious mind. Beyond the bridge. Beyond the bridge, there is a secret sanctuary, a place that only you can enter. It might look like a sun-drenched garden from your childhood. Or perhaps it is a quiet, safe room that you once dreamed of, a place where time stands perfectly still. And the noise of the world is a fading echo. In the center of this sacred space, sitting very quietly on a small wooden bench, is a little girl. She looks so deeply familiar to you because, of course, she is you. She is the version of you who first heard those sharp, hurtful words, the version who first learned the agonizing, silent lesson that her love, our safety, and her very existence were conditional on her performance. Shh. Notice how she's sitting right now. Her small shoulders are hunched forward. Her head is bowed. Hers is anxious, as if she is waiting for a storm to pass. She's waiting for the next criticism, the next heavy sigh of disappointment from a mother, or a father, or a family member who couldn't see her light. She has been sitting there for years, perhaps for decades, holding the cold echoes of their voices in her heart, believing with all her soul that she was the reason the house was never quiet, believing that she was the one who was fundamentally and permanently never enough. Never enough. I want you to walk towards her now. Very, very, very slowly. Feeling the soft grass or the cool plush carpet beneath your feet. As you get closer, she senses your presence and looks up, and you see the profound, ancient sadness in her eyes, the devastating exhaustion of a small child trying to be a perfect, responsible adult. Deeply, she's still trying so hard to be the good daughter. Even here, in the deepest sanctuary of your mind, she's still trying to earn the right to be loved, still trying to be silent enough, and helpful enough, and perfect enough to finally be safe. I want you to sit down on the bench beside her. I want you to sit down on the bench beside her. Right now, do not say anything at first. Just breathe with her. Let her feel your warmth. Let her feel the quiet, unshakable presence of the woman you have become. Unshakable presence of the woman you have become. The survivor. The woman who has endured all those sharp words and cold, distant looks and is still standing. Shh. Reach out and take her small, cold and trembling hand in yours. Notice how fragile her fingers feel. This is the part of you that was first wounded by their toxic projections. The part that felt the raw sting of every unfair judgment and every cruel comparison. She looks at you with so much hope and so much terrifying fear. She wants to know if the voices were right. She wants to know if she is really as bad, as selfish, or as broken as they told her she was. I want you to look her directly in those wide, honest eyes and tell her the truth that no one else had the courage or the wisdom to tell her. Whisper it to her. Shh. Tell her. Shh. Tell her. Sweetheart. Sweetheart, you were never, ever, ever the problem. You were just a child. The problem, you were just a child, a beautiful, innocent child, and you deserve to be seen. You deserve to be heard, and you deserve to be loved exactly as you were, without the mask, without the perfect performance, and without the silence. Tell her that those harsh, critical voices playing in her head were never her own voice. They were just the echoes of people who were too wounded and too small to know how to love themselves. To know how to love themselves, let alone love a child like her. Tell her that the long, exhausting war is finally over. And she doesn't have to be the family peacemaker anymore. She doesn't have to be the repository for their dark shadow. And she doesn't have to carry their unlived lives. Watch her face carefully as she hears these words. Watch as the deep tension leaves her small, tired forehead, and her shoulders finally drop as she releases a breath she has been holding for a lifetime. She has been waiting for you, Atani, only you, to say these words. No one else's approval matters in this sanctuary, only yours. Suddenly, she reaches out and hugs you. Shh. Suddenly, she reaches out and hugs you, burying her face in your neck. And as she does, you feel a warm, radiant, and golden light beginning to glow and expand in your own chest. This is the integration, the Jungian act of bringing the lost, exiled parts of your soul back into the light. You are bringing the child home. You are no longer separate. You are no longer fragmented. You are becoming whole. She is safe now. If he's safe now, because you are here, and you are her fierce, loving protector. You are the one who will stand between her and those hurtful words from now on. You are her sanctuary. Shh. Feel the profound, healing peace of this reunion. The quiet, healing peace of this reunion. The quiet, bubbling joy of no longer being at war with your own past. You are enough. And she is enough. And together, you are magnificent and complete. You are magnificent and complete. Let her rest a tired head against your heart. And together, listen to the steady, calm, and was due the steady, calm, and rhythmic beat of your soul. Everything is okay now. Shh. Sleep is coming for both of you. And it is a sleep of absolute, unconditional peace. Now that you are holding that small, precious, and long-lost version of yourself close to your heart, feel the deep, radiant warmth of that embrace beginning to flow outwards, moving through your skin, through your blood, and into your very bones, and tin your very bones. This is not just an emotional reunion in your mind. It is a profound, tricycle shifting of your entire biological being. For far too long, your body has acted as a loyal but exhausted soldier. Jagged words and the heavy, impossible expectations of those who could not see you. It has stored the stress of their judgments in your muscles. It has locked the frustration of being misunderstood in your joints, and it has held that devastating not enough syndrome as a tight, cold knot in the very center of your chest. But listen to the holy silence of this moment. Shh. Your body finally, officially, has permission to stand down from its watch. I want you to bring your gentle, Loving awareness to the area of your solar plexus, right there, just above your stomach, in that soft space below your ribs. This is the physical home of your boundaries, and the place where you felt that cold, sinking, and nauseating feeling every time they looked at you with disappointment, or spoke to you with that tone that made you feel small. It feels like a hard, tangled, and rusted ball of wire, does it not? Heavy and restrictive. Breathe into that space now. Deeply, slowly, deeply, slowly, and without any judgment. Visualize a soft, golden, and liquid light flowing directly from your heart, from the place where you are currently holding and protecting your inner child. And let that liquid light travel down into your solar plexus. Feel the light gently touching each sharp strand of that tangled wire. Watching your mind's eyes, the rusted wires begin to soften, to glow, to loosen, and to finally, to boosten, and to finally, beautifully, uncoil and dissolve the tightness you have carried in your gut for years. The bracing for the next attack is finally, mercifully, melting away into nothingness. Mercifully, melting away into nothingness. Now, let that golden awareness move upwards into your throat, the sacred place where you swallowed your truth, the place where you choke back your tears and your righteous anger just to keep a fragile peace in the house. It feels restricted, heavy, and perhaps a little numb, like a door that has been locked for a lifetime. Imagine that golden warmth rising up, like a gentle, incoming tide, washing through your neck, through your vocal cords, and through your throat. Every word you never got to say, every scream you held back, every no that was silenced, let them all melt into that warm, liquid light. You are safe to breathe fully now, without restriction. Your throat is opening, your neck is softening, and the crushing weight of being the silent daughter is falling away from you like old, dead skin. Feel your jaw release even further than you thought possible. Feel your tongue become heavy, thick, and completely relaxed. There is nothing left to defend, and there's no one left to please. The battle is over. The somatic memory of their criticism, the physical resonance of their harsh voices, is being washed out of your cells. It's being washed out of your cells, atom by atom, fiber by fiber, until your body is clean and clear. Your shoulders are sinking so incredibly deep into the mattress now. It is as if the bed is absorbing the last of your burdens, as if you are becoming part of the quiet, dark earth itself. Every single cell in your body is currently exhaling a long, slow and collective breath of relief. It is a biological surrender. You are safe to be soft. You are safe to be heavy. And you are finally safe to let go of the physical armor that has kept you in a state of chronic exhaustion for so long. The relaxation spread like warm honey down through your spine, into your hips, into your legs, and all the way down into the tips of your toes, releasing the need to run, releasing the need to hide. You are grounded. You are truly present in this body, and you are finally, physically, and spiritually free. Your body is no longer a battlefield. It is a sanctuary, a quiet home for your newly integrated soul. Just feel the weight of this peace as it settles into every muscle, every nerve, and every thought. You are whole. You are safe. And you are safe. And you are perfectly enough. Enough. You have been trying so incredibly hard to forget, have you not? You have spent so many long agonizing and sleepless nights, trying so desperately to push those haunting voices out of your head, trying to force yourself to not think about the sharp, jagged things they said to you. But here is the profound and almost frustrating secret of the human mind. A secret that Carl Jung understood so deeply. What you resist persists. Shh. The more you fight against those painful memories, the more emotional energy and psychological power you unknowingly give to them. It is like trying to stay perfectly dry while you are fighting a massive, crushing wave in the middle of the ocean. The harder you push against the weight of the water, the more it crashes over your head. And the more it crashes over your head, and the more utterly exhausted you become. Surrender. True, deep and clinical surrender is not about giving up. It is not about losing. And it is certainly not about weakness. It is about stopping the long, unnecessary, and devastating war within your own soul. It is the sacred. Quiet moment you finally realize that those words exist in the past, but they are no longer your enemy in the present. They are just echoes now. Just distant, fading sounds in the night, moving further and further away from the radiant core of who you truly are. Imagine for a moment that your mind is a vast, infinite, and perfectly clear night sky. Those hurtful words. Toxic projections from your family members, those labels of not enough or selfish. They are not the sky itself, they are just dark, heavy, temporary clouds passing through. You've been trying to blow those clouds away with your own limited breath for decades. And that, my dear, is exactly why you are so tired in your very bones. Testament. Right here in this safe darkness, I want you to stop blowing. I want you to just lie there. And want you to just lie there. And watch the clouds. Let them be there. Let them exist in the background. But stop believing that they have the authority or the power to define the sky. Shh. You are the observer. The vast, silent, an unshakable witness to the clouds. When you stop resisting their presence, when you stop arguing with them in the courtroom of your mind, the clouds naturally, inevitably, begin to drift. They lose their weight. They lose their sharpness. They lose their ability to hurt you. Surrender is the profound realization that you cannot change what was spoken in the past. You cannot change their unhealed hearts, but you can absolutely change how much of your precious, limited life force you spend fighting it right now. It is a beautiful and healing paradox, is it not? That by allowing the pain to be there without fighting it finally, it begins to leave you. You are no longer the victim of their words. You are the wide open, peaceful space where those words eventually dissolve into absolute nothingness. Feel the profound. Till physical relief in your chest as you finally lay down that heavy, rusted shield you've been holding for your entire life. You don't need to be strong anymore. You don't need to be better than their criticism. You don't need to prove them wrong. You just need to be still. Shh. Let the memories of their voices become like static on a very, very distant radio. Fuzzy. Very distant radio. Fuzzy. Indistinct. Muffled. And completely powerless to disturb the holy peace of your sleep. You are surrendering to the unshakable truth of your own worth, which exists independent of anything they have ever said, or done, or failed to do for you. In this surrender, you find the ultimate power, the power of a soul that no longer needs to defend its right to exist. You are enough, not because you won the argument, not because you finally got them to understand, but because you finally got them to understand. But because you finally left the battlefield. Shh. Left the battlefield. Shh. The war is over. The silence that follows is not empty. It is full of your own reclaimed light. Sleep now. Sleep now. In the quiet. In the quiet. Beautiful. An effortless grace of surrender. Everything you have been fighting for, this is already yours, in the stillness. Just let go. Let the sky be the sky. Shh. Let the sky be the sky. Now that the room in your mind is finally clean, and the air is finally clear of their heavy, suffocating, and toxic expectation, and toxic expectations, we must fill the sacred, be silent, and newly reclaimed space with a brand new frequency. For your entire life, you have been forced to define yourself by a reflection that was never actually yours. You have been looking into a broken, dusty, and distorted mirror, held by people who were far too wounded and far too blind to see your true, radiant light. And because that broken mirror only ever showed you a distorted image, a version of you that was never enough, too sensitive, or always wrong, you eventually started to believe that this was the absolute truth of who you are. But tonight, in this healing darkness, we are breaking that mirror into 1,000 pieces, and we are throwing them away forever. Shh. I want you to listen to these words very carefully, not with your logical, tired mind. Not with your logical, tired mind, but with the very core of your soul. Your worth is not a reward for your perfect performance. Your value is not a trophy you earn by being the good woman, or the perfect daughter, or the violent peacemaker. Your worth is an inherent, unshakable, ancient, and divine fact of your very existence. It was there in its full glory the moment you took your first breath, and it is there right now. Even in your deep exhaustion, even in your quiet pain, and even in your anger. Think about this deeply. A mountain does not have to prove its height to the cold wind. A wild flower does not have to justify its beauty or its scent to the dirt it grows from. They simply are. And you, my dear, shh, you simply are. You are the source of your own value, not the pale reflection of their fragile approval. Repeat these truths in the holy silence of your own heart. Let them echo in your cells. I am no longer a container for other people's unhealed shadows. I am a sovereign, independent being. My peace is non-negotiable, and my boundaries are sacred. And my boundaries are a sacred, necessary act of self-love. You have been taught, perhaps since the cradle, that being enough was a distant destination you had to reach. A finish line that they kept moving further and further away every single time you got close. But the ultimate truth is this: you are already at the finish line. You were born more than enough. Every jagged criticism they ever threw at you, every cold look they ever gave you, was merely a loud confession of their own deep-seated feeling of inadequacy. When they called you selfish for setting a boundary, what they were really saying in their pain was, I am angry that I can no longer control you for my own comfort. When they said you were not doing enough for the family, what they were really saying was, I do not know how to handle my own inner emptiness, so I desperately need you to fill it for me. Shh. Tonight, you are finally, and officially, resigning from the impossible job of filling their voids. You are reclaiming your precious energy, pulling it back from their chaotic lives, and centering it deep within the sanctuary of your own being. Feel the incredible power of this internal shift. It feels like a solid, warm, and golden anchor dropping through the water and settling into the very center of your soul. You are becoming unshakable. Their words might still blow like a cold winter wind, but they can no longer move the mountain of your self-worth. You are allowed to be happy, even if they choose to stay miserable. You are allowed to be at peace, even if they choose to live in chaos. Your light does not diminish their existence, and their darkness, no matter how loud it screams, cannot extinguish your inner light. Shh. You are truly, deeply, and forever enough. You are not the labels they gave you. You are not the roles you played. You are the silence. You are the light, and you are the peace. As this new programming settles into your subconscious, you feel a profound, physical sense of relief. You no longer need to check their faces to see if you are okay. You are okay because you exist. You are worthy because you breathe. Let this truth be the soft pillow you rest your head on tonight. Let it be the blanket that keeps you warm. You are coming home to the truth. And the truth is, Mel, you have always been magnificent. Shh. Just drift, in the certainty of your own value, as the night carries you deeper. As the tide carries you deeper and deeper into the truth of who you are. You are ready now. So deeply and so completely ready. And so completely ready. The difficult work of the logical mind is finally finished. The physical release of the body is total. And that heavy, dusty cloak of the good woman is now nothing but a memory. A pile of dust on the floor far behind you. We are standing together now at a brand new threshold. A shimmering doorway made of soft, pulsing, an indigo light. The entrance to the deep. Cool. The entrance to the deep. Cool and healing waters of the Theta state. The sacred place where dreams and reality merge into one. Shh. As I count down now from 10 to 1, you will not just descend. You will begin to truly dissolve, melting away from the burdens of the physical world and drifting into the infinite, velvet sanctuary of your own soul. 10. Feel your eyelids becoming so incredibly heavy, so impossibly still impossibly Avik, as if they have been sealed with the peaceful weight of 1,000 years. They are locked shut, and you no longer have any desire or any need to look at the world outside. The darkness behind your eyes is vast, warm, and welcoming. 9. The walls of the room around you are starting to fade into a soft blur, becoming translucent, like mist disappearing in the morning sun. The furniture, the walls, the sounds of the house, and even the weight of your own personal history, they are all becoming distant, fuzzy, and completely unimportant to you now. And completely unimportant to you now. 8. Till you are beginning to float. A gentle, weightless, and effortless sensation is lifting you away from the mattress, away from the earth. It is as if you are being held by the very hands of the universe, safe, secure, and totally free from the heavy gravity of your past. You are lighter than a breath, lighter than a single thought. 7. The indigo doorway is right in front of you now, pulsating with a slow, hypnotic, and rhythmic light. It smells of ancient ozone, clean rain, and soft, night-blooming flowers. This is the sacred bridge between the world of doing and the holy world of being. You are stepping closer now, leaving every last trace of not enough on the threshold. 6. Your mind is becoming a clear. 6C. Your mind is becoming a clear, silent, and perfect frequency. The racing thoughts are gone. The internal arguments have vanished. There is only this one, singular, and beautiful vibration of pure peace. You are half human, and half dream now, drifting in the beautiful space between worlds. 5. We are halfway through the gate now. Notice how the silence has deepened and changed. It is no longer just the absence of noise. It is a thick velvet, and loving presence that knows you, that sees you, and that protects you from all harm. You are becoming the silence itself. 4. Every single cell in your being is vibrating with the ancient frequency of deep, restorative, and clinical sleep. Your brainwaves are slowing down, stretching out, becoming long, slow. Real and powerful waves of Theta, the state where the soul heals itself. You are untouchable and sacred here. 3. The physical world has vanished completely for you. There is no bed, there's no room, there is no family, and there are no voices. There is only your consciousness, floating like a bright, calm, and a silver star in a sea of peaceful darkness. You are vast, you are infinite, and you are whole. 2 nearly there now. Only a tiny microscopic thread remains. And you are ready, so ready to let it go. You are dissolving into the indigo light, becoming one with the healing story that is about to begin. You are no longer a daughter or a wife. You are a pure, radiant soul. 1. Radiant soul. 1. The door is wide open now, and you are stepping through into the land of eternal dreams, into the sanctuary of the void. The voices are gone. The weight is gone. You are safe. You are light. And you are light. And you are finally. Now, as you stand at the very bottom of that ancient stone staircase, the pulsing, the millscape, indigo light begins to swirl gently around your ankles, like a soft dot, protective mist rising from a sacred river. You find yourself standing in a place of transition, standing in front of a house that you do not recognize with your waking eyes, but a house that your soul, your tired, tired, aching soul, remembers all too well. This is the House of Echoes, a massive, cold structure built entirely from the sharp, tough, jagged words, the heavy, icy silences, and the suffocating, impossible expectations of your family history. You look at the windows. They are dark and reflective, showing you only the versions of yourself that you were forced to be for them. The air around this house is thin. It is gray, and it smells of old, forgotten dust and the bitter scent of apologies that were never spoken. Shh. You look down at your hands in the indigo light, and a wave of profound relief washes over you as you realize you are no longer holding anything. The stones of shame are gone. The heavy cloak of guilt is gone, and the suffocating mask of the good woman has vanished into the darkness. You are just a soul now, raw, honest, and raw and modest, and beautiful in your vulnerability. You take a slow, intentional breath, and you turn your back on the House of Echoes. Says forever. In front of you, stretching out into the infinite night, is a narrow, silver path, a path made of starlight and crushed pearls, winding its way into a vast, ancient, and magnificent forest that seems to be breathing in rhythm with the moonlight. This is your departure, your sacred, long-awaited exit from the role they forced you to play. You take your very first step onto the silver path, and the ground beneath your feet feels miraculously different. It is soft. It is cool. And it feels incredibly, deeply supportive, as if the earth itself has been waiting for you to walk this way. With every single step you take further and further away from that house, notice how the air begins to change. It becomes thicker, cleaner, more vibrant, and so much easier to pull into your lungs. You can hear the thousands of leaves in the ancient trees whispering. They are whispering your true name, not the cruel labels they called you, not the selfish or the never enough, but the secret name your soul was given by the stars before the world ever tried to break you. The trees here are massive. Their roots go deep into the heart of the world, and their silver branches reach up like ancient, loving guardians protecting the holy silence of this night. You feel so small standing beneath them, but for the first time in your life, being small feels like absolute safety. Shh. It means you do not have to be the pillar of the house anymore. It means you no longer have to be the one holding everyone else's world together while yours falls apart. You are allowed to be a child of the forest. You are allowed to be small. And you are allowed to be perfectly and beautifully lost in this stillness. The moonlight filters through the high canopy above, creating intricate patterns of silver and shifting shadow on the path ahead, like a map leading you home to yourself. You walk further, deeper into the heart of the green silence, and the sounds of the House of Echoes behind you, the slamming doors of anger, the heavy, the judgmental sighs, the voices that told you that you were never enough. They are all fading now, drifting away, becoming as faint and powerless as a bad dream you had 1,000 years ago. They cannot follow you here. This forest does not speak their language. This forest only knows the language of growth, of seasons, and of deep, restorative rest. You notice the smell of wild, night-blooming jasmine in the damp. Rich scent of moss. You feel the cool. Gentle brush of a fern against your hand as you pass. A soft, natural blessing. Your heart rate is slowing down to match the slow, steady heartbeat of the trees. You are no longer the daughter who is never enough. You are no longer the wife who must be perfect. You are the traveler, the seeker. And the forest is your ancient, loving sanctuary. You come to a small, clear stream crossing your path, the waters bubbling softly over smooth, round stones, and as you step across, you feel the last remaining traces of their toxic energy being washed away from your feet, leaving you pure, leaving you light, leaving you light, leaving you whole. Shh. The further you go, the further you go, the more the forest begins to glow with a soft, inner light. The moss beneath your feet begins to shimmer, and you realize that you are walking into a world where your value is not a question, but a fundamental law. You are enough here. Just as the trees are enough, just as the moon is enough. The silence is not empty. It is full of peace. It is full of the ancient wisdom of Carl Jung, reminding you that you are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become, and tonight, in this beautiful departure, you are choosing to become the silence. You are choosing to become the peace. You are choosing to finally, just be. Psh, just be. Every step is a prayer of release. Every breath is a song of freedom. The house of echoes is gone. It is a speck of dust in the distance. A shadow that has no power over the radiant soul you are reclaiming. Shh. Walk on. Dear traveler, walk on into the beautiful, indigo depths of your own healing. You are safe. You are loved. You are loved. And you are going exactly where you need to be. The forest is opening its arms to you, welcoming you home to the truth of your own magnificence. Shh. You are walking deeper now, much deeper into the very heart of this ancient silver forest. Silver forest, where the massive trees seem to lean in, whispering to one another as they hear the sacred secrets of your soul. The silver path beneath your feet begins to widen, becoming a vast, flowing road that leads you toward a perfectly circular clearing, a holy space where the moonlight is so bright, so silver, and so pure that it feels like a soft, cool rain of absolute clarity falling upon your tired skin. In the center of this clearing, there's a mirror-like pool of water, so still, so dark. So dark, and so ancient that it holds the reflections of everything that has ever been, every dream, and every pain, Shh. As you stand at the edge of the sacred pool, the silence is so profound it feels like a physical presence. But then, you notice something moving slowly on the opposite side, emerging from the thick indigo mist. Figure begins to take shape. It is a shadow, a tall, imposing, and heavy figure that feels intensely, and perhaps painfully familiar to your spirit. It is the representation of a source, the source of those hurtful words, the one whose voice has been living, uninvited in the hallways of your head for far too long. As the figure becomes clearer in the moonlight, you realize it does not have a real face of its own. Instead, it wears 1,000 different, flickering masks of anger, kolenbrisselpunt, and sharp judgment. This is the imago, the mental image of the person who first told you and kept telling you that you were never enough, that you were selfish, that you were wrong just for existing as yourself. But listen to me now. For the first time in your life, you are not looking at this figure through the eyes of a wounded, frightened daughter or a tired, defensive wife. You are looking at them through the wide, clear, and detached eyes of the observer. Shh. Notice the heavy, stagnant space between you and the shadow figure, connecting your heart directly to theirs. There is a thick, pulsating, and twisted cord. It looks like a gray, necrotic vine made of old, rusted iron and centuries of cold resentment. This is the cord of projection. Every single time you threw a sharp stone of criticism at you, this cord grew thicker. Every time you stayed awake at night trying to win their approval or trying to explain your worth to them, you unknowingly fed this cord with your own precious life force, your own vitality. You can feel the immense weight of it pulling on your chest right now, a physical ache that has made your breath shallow and your heart heavy for as long as you can remember. But I want you to look at the figure more closely now, in the honest, revealing moonlight of this clearing. You see, with a start of realization, that they are also bound. They are covered in their own cords, hundreds of them, thin and black, stretching back into the dark. Suffocating forests bind them, back into the history of their own unhealed ancestors, back into a chain of pain that started long before you were even born. Shh. You realize now, with a sudden, you broke, with a sudden, sharp, and liberating clarity that they were never actually attacking you. They were simply trapped in their own internal war. And you, in your innocence, were just the closest and most convenient target for their own self-hatred, and not a monster. They held just a soul so deeply and so tragically lost in their own shadow that they completely forgot how to see yours. The shadow figure opens its mouth to speak. But here, in this sanctuary of silence, the voice does not have its usual, the terrifying power. The words never enough, disappointment, the pavement, and selfish. They fall like heavy, dead insects into the pool between you. They make tiny, insignificant ripples that are quickly swallowed by the deep. Dark water. The water is too ancient and too wise for their noise. You feel a sudden surge of profound. Quiet, and unshakable strength rising from your core. You are no longer afraid of this encounter. You are no longer bracing for the blow, because you finally realize that this cord can only exist. It can only drain you if you keep holding your end of the rope. You look at that heavy, gray, and ugly vine, and you see exactly how it has drained your joy, how it has kept you paralyzed in the dark, how it has forced you to carry a biological burden that was never yours to bear. You see that their anger is their own, and their shame is their own. It has nothing to do with the radiant soul you are reclaiming tonight. You are ready now. The forest is holding its breath. The moon is your witness. The moon is your witness, and your heart is finally firm. You are standing in the full, magnificent power of your own being, and the encounter is nearly complete. The encounter is nearly complete. The silence is yours. The pool is yours. And in just a moment, the freedom will be yours too. Just look at them, one last time. Not with hate, but with the cold, clear eyes of a soul that is about to leave. You are so much more than their words. You are the moonlight. You are the forest. You are the deep, silent water. You are standing now, perfectly still, at the very center of the sacred, silver clearing, right at the edge of the dark, mirror-like pool of your own deep subconscious. The indigo mist has finally settled into a low, glowing carpet around your bare feet, and the shadow figure standing across from you has become perfectly, eerily motionless, like a statue from a forgotten dream. The heavy, gray, and pulsating cord that connects your heart directly to theirs is vibrating with a dying, flickering energy. It feels cold against your skin, and it feels incredibly, agonizingly heavy, like a thick chain made of lead and old, rusted, and bitter iron. But listen to the silence of the forest. Shh. Here, in the sanctuary of your own eternal soul, you are no longer the victim of their words. You are no longer the child waiting for approval. You are the sovereign. You are the absolute master of this sacred space. And you are the only authority here. I want you to look down at your hands once more, in the brilliant moonlight. I had noticed that they are beginning to glow with a powerful, silver-white radiance. The light of your own reclaimed and clinical awareness. From this radiant light, a sacred tool begins to form in your palm. It is a blade made of pure, crystalline, and unshakable clarity. A blade sharp enough to cut through the very fabric of time and history itself, and strong enough to sever any bond that was built on the foundations of pain, guilt, and toxic projection. This is the sword of the self, the holy weapon of your own boundaries, the protector of your inner child. You feel its weight in your hand now. It is not heavy like the stones you once carried. No. It feels light as a feather. It feels like a natural, powerful extension of your own divine will. You look at the shadow figure one last, honest time, and you realize with a deep, quiet wisdom that by cutting this cord, you are not just freeing yourself, you are also mercifully returning to them what is always and will always and bilbogs to belong to them. You are giving back their ancient anger. You are giving back their crushing shame. You are giving back their not enough syndrome. And you are giving back the unlived life of their ancestors. It no longer has a home in your heart. It no longer has a place in your body. And it no longer has a right to your energy. You slowly raise the blade of crystalline light, and the entire forest around you holds its collective breath. The moon becomes even larger, even brighter, even brighter, and the dark water in the pool becomes as smooth and as silent as a sheet of glass. With a single, slow, deliberate, and decisive movement, you bring the blade down. You bring the blade down, slicing through the very center of that heavy, gray, and necrotic cord. As the silver light of the blade touches the rusted iron vine, there is no sound of metal. There is no sound of metal, only sudden, massive, and overwhelming release of pressure. The cord doesn't just break, it completely dissolves, shattering into a million tiny, harmless gray sparks that are instantly swallowed by the silver mist and neutralized by the earth. You feel a sudden physical jolt in the center of your chest, but it is not painful. No, it is the incredible, breathtaking feeling of 1,000 pounds of lead being lifted off your heart all at once. Your breath, which has been shallow, tight-guarded, and frightened for so many years, finally expands, filling your lungs with the clean, kain, filling your lungs with yon, kain, kai, cool, and life-giving air of your own sanctuary. You are breathing for yourself now, only for yourself. Across the sand and pool, the shadow figure begins to undergo a profound change. Without your energy to drain, without your vitality to feed upon, it becomes smaller, thinner, more transparent, and far less imposing. It is no longer a monster. It is no longer a threat. It is just a memory, a fading, distant echo of a person who never learned how to love themselves, and therefore could never truly love you. The figure turns slowly. Without a word, and walks back into the thick, indigo mist, moving further and further away from your clearing, away from your light, away from your freighter. The mist closes softly behind them, like a heavy velvet curtain, and they're gone. They're finally gone. Shh. You are alone in your sanctuary now, and the silence is the most beautiful thing you have ever heard. You look down at your chest, at the sacred space where the cord once was, and you see a small, glowing, and beautiful scar of light, healing and sealing itself instantly, becoming a permanent symbol of your resilience and your strength. The forest around you begins to respond to your freedom, begins to bloom in the middle of the night. Thousands of flowers made of indigo and silver light opening their petals, releasing a scent of peace that fills your entire being. You have won the war. You have reclaimed your sacred garden. You have taken back your life. You feel a sense of lightness that you haven't felt since you were a very small child, before the words began. You are free to move. You are free to grow. And you are finally free to rest. The moonlight wraps around you like a warm embrace, and the water in the pool begins to hum a low, soothing frequency of 432 hertz, the frequency of the universe, the frequency of home. You are no longer defined by their voices. You are defined by this silence. You are defined by this light. Shh. Lie down now. Shh. Lie down now. Here in the soft, shimmering moss of your own sanctuary. The grass is like silk, The air is a lullaby. The air is a lullaby, and the journey is almost complete. You have cut the cord, and now there is nothing left to do but drift into the deep, restorative, and unconditional sleep that you have deserved for so long. Everything is quiet. Everything is clear. You are whole. Down. The heavy gray cord is finally, truly gone. Dissolved into the silver mist like a bad dream at dawn, and the silence that follows its departure is not a void. It is not an emptiness. It is a sacred. It is a sacred, profound, and golden fullness. You are standing perfectly still at the edge of the mirror pool, breathing in the cool, clean air of your own sanctuary, and you feel a strange, beautiful, and brand new sensation in the very center of your chest, right where that heavy, rusted iron vine used to pull. Drain and restrict you. Stand and restrict you. It is no longer an ache. It is no longer a hollow space. Instead, it is a warmth, it's slow spreading, and honey-like heat that feels like the first rays of the most gentle morning sun touching your skin after a long, dark, and bitter winter. I want you to look down at that small, glowing, and beautiful scar of light right over your heart. Watch as it begins to pulse. Not with the frantic rhythm of fear, but with the slow, deep, and healthy beat of your own sovereign life force. This is the sacred moment of integration. The alchemical marriage of your soul, the immense amount of energy that you used to spend every single day defending yourself from their words, the energy you used to waste trying to earn their impossible approval, the energy you used to keep the peace. It is all flowing back to you now. Like a river returning to the sea, it is finally, mercifully, coming home. Visualize this reclaimed energy as a warm, as a body of liquid gold rising up from the deep, supportive earth beneath your feet, pouring down from the brilliant silver moonlight above, and bubbling up from the very ancient center of your own soul. It is filling the empty space where their not enough syndrome used to live and fester. It is filling every hollow left by their sharp criticism, every crack left by their cold disappointment. Shh. You feel this liquid gold moving through your shoulders, making them feel broad, relaxed, and incredibly strong. You feel it moving into your throat, clearing the blockage, making it feel wide, open, making it feel wide, open, and powerful. You feel it moving into your mind, a golden tide washing away the very last microscopic traces of their harsh, critical voices. You are no longer a fragmented person. You are no longer a daughter split between her own needs and their endless, suffocating demands. You are no longer a version of someone else's expectations. You are a sovereign, integrated, and independent being. I want you to look into the mirror pool once more, but this time, do not look for them. Do not look for you. The reflection you see now is finally, breathtakingly, and magnificently whole. In the silver water, you see the woman you were always meant to be. The one Carl Jung called the individuated self. The one Carl Jung called the individuated self. The one who has transcended the mask. You see the fierce, protective strength of your shadow. You see the soft, radiant innocence of your inner child. And you see the calm, that infinite wisdom of the observer. All merged, all integrated, and all harmonized into one singular. Tet, and all harmonized into one singular, radiant and unshakable identity. And unshakable identity. You see a face that no longer needs to ask for permission to exist. You see eyes that no longer search for approval in the faces of others. You see a soul that has finally and completely chosen itself. Every cell in your body is absorbing this gold. Every nerve is being rewired with this new frequency of self-love. The invisible load you carried for decades has been replaced by an invisible strength, a foundation of solid light that nothing and no one can ever take away from you again. You are a mountain that the wind cannot move. You are the ancient forest that the storm cannot break. You are the deep, silent pool that the noise cannot disturb. You are the peace that you have been searching for in everyone else, only to find it has been waiting here, in the silence, for you to return. In the silence, for you to return. Shh. Everything is integrated. The broken pieces have been fused back together with the gold of your own awareness, making you even more beautiful, even more valuable, and even more resilient than before the break. You are finally home within your own skin. You are finally safe within your own heart. Feel the weight of this wholeness. It is a good weight, a grounding weight, the weight of a person who finally knows exactly who they are and who they are not. You are not their disappointment. You are not their scapegoat. You are not their scapegoat. You are not their not enough. You are the silence. You are the light. You are the master of the sanctuary. The integration is complete. The war has ended in a total and beautiful victory for your soul. Shh. To dot. Now, just lie back in the shimmering moss and let this golden wholeness carry you. The dot. To dot. Paunu. To dot as the forest prepares to sing you into the deepest, most restorative sleep of your life. You are whole. You are truly, finally, whole. You are truly, finally, whole. Shh. The silver forest, the sacred clearing, and the mirror pool are all starting to dissolve now. Becoming an indigo haze of light and shadow. An indigo haze of light and shadow. You find yourself lying perfectly still on a small, silver boat, a vessel made of ancient starlight and holy silence, lined with the softest, coolest, and most comforting silk you have ever felt against your tired skin. The boat is floating on a vast, bottomless, an infinite lake of liquid starlight, a lake that has no shore, a lake that has no shore, no direction, and no end. There are no oars in this boat. There are no sails. Because there is absolutely nowhere left for you to go. And there is no one left in the universe for you to be. The world of roles. The world of doing. The exhausting world of fixing is now a million miles away. A tiny dot, fading. An insignificant speck of dust in the vast distance behind you. The water beneath you is so still, so perfectly dark, and so ancient that it looks like a black mirror reflecting the infinite. Slowly rotating galaxies above, you feel a gentle, hypnotic, and rhythmic rocking of the boat, like a cradle being held and swayed by the very hands of eternity itself. Every time the boat rocks slowly to the left, you drift a little further away from the painful shore of your personal history. Every time it rocks slowly to the right, you drift deeper into the warm, velvet sanctuary of the beautiful unknown. You are not a daughter here. You are not a wife. You are not a mother. You are a worker. Or a worker. Or a peacemaker. You are no longer the one who is never enough. You are just the breath. You are just the silence. You are just the pure, glowing awareness of the stars. Shh. The memories of their voices. The harsh. The harsh. The harsh. The harsh, jagged tones, the critical, cold looks. They are now nothing more than distant, microscopic, and cold stars in a galaxy you have already long since left. They are trillions of miles away, drifting in a void where they can never reach you again. And they have no weight, no heat, and absolutely no power to disturb the perfect indigo piece of your spirit. But not. You are sinking, you are drifting, and you are slowly, beautifully, dissolving, beautifully, dissolving. It is as if the boat is merging with the water, and the water is merging with the sky, and you are merging with it all, until there is no boundary left. There is no longer a you and an other. There is no longer an inside and an outside. There is only the vast, quiet, and effortless expansion of your soul into the darkness. The temperature is perfect. A soft, constant coolness that feels like a blessing on your forehead. You can smell the scent of the void. Be a clean, crisp, an electric smell of pure potential. Your heart is beating so slowly now, matching the slow, majestic pulse of the cosmos. You are no longer carrying your body. Your body is being carried by the lake. You are no longer carrying your mind. Your mind is being carried by the silence. You are safe to let go of the very last thin thread of human consciousness. You are safe to drift into the deep, warm, and bottomless dark that waited for you before you were born. The lake is singing a lullaby to you now, not with words, but with a frequency of absolute, unconditional. Then and eternal peace. Shh. You're floating in the gap between the stars, in the space where no one expects anything from you. You are free from the eyes that judged you. You are free from the voices that shamed you. You are free from the version of yourself that tried so hard to be perfect. That version of you has stayed on the shore, and she is at peace now too. But you, the real you, the ancient you, is drifting further and further out into the shimmering indigo sea of the unconscious. Into the shimmering indigo sea of the unconscious. The light of the moon is becoming a soft, pulsing glow, rhythmic like a slow, deep breath, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. You're becoming the water. You're becoming the light. You're becoming the deep, dark space between the stars. F. Every cell in your body has finally given up the fight. Every muscle has surrendered its story. Every nerve has found its silence. You are so heavy now, but you are also as light as a shadow. You are sinking through the layers of sleep. You are sinking through the layers of sleep, drifting past the land of dreams, and moving toward the great healing void. Healing void. The names they called you. The names they called you. The names you called yourself. They are dissolving into the liquid starlight, vanishing like salt in a deep ocean. You have no name here. You have no history. You have no burden. You are just a flicker of light, returning to the source. Drift, dear. Dear soul. Drift into the beautiful. Drift into the beautiful. Indigo nothingness. The boat is gone. The lake is gone. There's only the drift. Shh. The silence is taking you now. The darkness is loving you now. You are safe. You are whole. You are gone. Shh. There's nothing left now. The silver boat of starlight has completely dissolved. The silver boat of starlight has completely dissolved. The infinite lake has merged into the indigo sky, and even the ancient forest is now nothing more than a beautiful, distant, and fading memory of a life you no longer need to carry. You have finally reached the void, the sacred, nameless, and bottomless center of your own deepest being. The place where all things begin and all things return. This is the holy place before words were ever spoken. The place before you were a daughter. Before you were a wife. Before you were a wife. Before you were ever told that you were anything at all. In this velvet, comforting darkness, there's no longer any weight. There's no gravity. There's no gravity. There's no distance. And there is no time. There's only the vast, quiet, and eternal presence of your own soul, floating in the absolute, unshakable peace of the 0 point, unshakable peace of the 0 point. You can no longer feel where your physical body ends and where the darkness begins. You are the darkness, and the darkness is you. It is a loving, maternal darkness, a protective abyss that asks absolutely nothing of you, expects nothing from you, and judges nothing about you. The words that haunted your mind, the not enough, the selfish, the disappointment, the disappointment, the sharp, jagged tones of the people who did not know how to love themselves. They have no meaning here. They have no language here. They have no language here. They cannot exist in this high, pure dimension of being. They are like tiny, invisible dust motes in a perfect vacuum, weightless, powerless, and completely gone. You are unburdened of your history. You are unburdened of your pain. And you are finally, mercifully, nameless. You are free. Nameless. You are free. Shh. Every single atom, every microscopic cell in your being is now a part of this holy, ancient silence. You are breathing with the universe itself. A slow, majestic, an invisible rhythm that moves like the tide of a cosmic ocean. In and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. There is no fear here. There is no anxiety, because there is no self left to be afraid. You have returned to the source, to the prima materia, the raw, radiant material of pure existence that Carl Jung spoke of. You are safe to disappear. You are safe to be nothing. Because here, in the heart of this divine void, in being nothing, You are finally in being nothing. You are finally everything. Shh. Yeah. You are the silence between the notes. Yeah. You are the space between the stars. Yeah. You are the peace that surpasses all human understanding. The labels they gave you, the roles you played, the masks you wore, they've all been washed away by the tides of eternity. You are just a flicker of light, a heartbeat of the cosmos, a presence that simply is. Feel the profound, absolute safety of this emptiness. There is no one to please here. There is no one to explain yourself to. There is no one to explain yourself to. There is no one to win over. You are already, and always have been, perfectly enough. The darkness is not empty. It is full of the infinite potential of your own soul. It is the womb of your new life. As you drift deeper and deeper into the silent heart of the void, you feel the last remaining tension in your mind evaporating, like mist under a dark coma. You are sinking into the great healing abyss, the foundation of all rest. Shh. Your consciousness is a soft, indigo light, that fading, and fading, becoming one with the velvet night. There is no I. There is only the peace. There is no them. There is only the tights. There is only the silence. You are floating in the gap between the worlds, in the sacred pause between breaths. The war is over, the path is finished, and the void is holding you with a love that has no conditions, no end. Shh. The check to let yourself go. Further and further. Intent into the nameless, into the weightless, into the perfect. Dark, and eternal rest. Shh. You are floating now, in the absolute, eternal, and magnificent center of the void. Every single part of your being is finally and deeply to peace. The gray core is severed. The heavy suffocating mask is gone. And you are truly, beautifully whole. To McCloak, beautifully whole. Deep drift now. Deeper and deeper into the most restorative sleep of your life. I am placing a sacred, permanent, and clinical anchor into the very foundations of your subconscious mind. Shh. This anchor is made of pure, golden light, and it is grounding you forever in the truth of your own magnificence. When you wake up tomorrow morning, at the very first touch of the sun, the sharp, jagged, and hurtful words of the past will have absolutely no power over your heart. They will be like a dead language that you no longer speak, a distant, meaningless noise that you no longer hear. You will wake up feeling lighter. You will wake up feeling lighter, clearer, and profoundly strong. You will move through your day with a solid, ancient, and unshakable sense of your own inherent value. You will breathe deeply, you will walk with grace, and you will know, with every single fiber of your soul, that you are, and have always been, more than enough. Shh. The voices of others. Their shadows. The shadows and their projections will stay forever outside the walls of your sacred sanctuary. From this moment on, you are protected, you are integrated, and you are integrated, and you are eternally free. The loop is closed, the bore is over, and the peace is yours to keep forever. Now, let the absolute silence of the universe take over completely. Let the sound of my voice fade into the comforting velvet darkness, becoming one with the infinite night, becoming one with the stars. Shh. The journey is complete, the healing is done, and you are home. Sleep now. Dear soul, sleep, 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 sleep.